This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Well, there's no shortage of sport on the calendar at the moment. The Grand Prix's just wrapped up. The Masters have just wrapped up, so we can get our eyes focused back on the NBL season. There's no better way to enjoy this smorgasbord of sport than with Bet with Mates. We know punting by yourself is fun. You can text your mates if you got the win, but why not have them see it right there in the app and enjoy and share the moment with them there? There's plenty of features here. You can set your max stake. You can even rate your mates' bets with emojis, and there's plenty more sport on the menu coming up. So make sure you get involved with Bet with Mates. And as always, gamble responsibly.
I'm never off my grind. I'm always on time. I'm ahead of the game. I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays off. I pay dues. I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so fresh. I'm so raw. Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like A-Day. I ball hard and clutch play. It's game time like A-Day. Now let the games begin.
Good evening, wherever you might be around Australia, and this is Hungry Jack's NBL for a Tuesday night. That man is firing Jalen Adams and his teammate, Xavier Cooks. We could talk about 5 different Kings who are in career form right now as they go for 12 straight. That young man's on the way up. NBA scouts in the building at Bendigo. Usman Jeng coming off a really good game on the weekend in the same arena. Wherever you might be, hello to you. I'm Cam Luke, Leonard Copeland, Liam Santamaria. Boys, good evening.
Good evening to you, Cam. This should be fun. The Sydney Kings, my goodness, as you say, going for 12 wins in a row. That is rare air as far as 40-minute NBL history. And the Breakers standing in their way, the coldest team in the NBL, but full of talent and always dangerous.
Copes will talk about it, going for 12 straight, but home court advantage and finishing atop the Amy ladder is very important. Hence why Sydney have to keep winning. Even games are expected to win.
They have to keep winning. Melbourne, you expect to finish first. Sydney maybe second. Perth have a lot of home games as well. You just don't know what's going to happen. It's unpredictable, but I think it'll finish the way it looks right now.
And the percentage, of course, as you can see, next to Melbourne United, gives them that advantage over the last week and a half. They have been playing so particularly well, this Sydney team. They're deep. They have the starting 5 that's great, but there's no Ian Clark tonight. Copes, he failed a fitness test. But as we have a look at that DoorDash starting 5 and the lineup, all thanks to DoorDash, and DoorDash is your delivery MVP.
That's
Head
right.
to the DoorDash app now.
No Ian Clark, but you got Jalen Adams, and he leads that team very well. He's a very good player. Cook's playing his 50th. Martin, who can get it done from inside and outside, and then DJ, who can shoot at any time.
They're a very deep team. Xavier Cooks, there you go. I know you're huge on him, Copes. You too, Liam Santamaria. And this is the guy, as we see on Saturday night, he does everything.
He's just playing at a really high level. 3rd season in the NBL, so it's taken a while to get to that 50th game milestone with injuries, but he's had a huge year, stuffing the stat sheet, playing really well for the Kings.
Speaking of huge years, it is Chase Buford's first in the NBL, and he's got the hottest team in the league, and moments ago he joined Pete Hooley courtside.
Well, the Sydney Kings will be looking for 12 in a row as they take on the New Zealand Breakers tonight. And joining me now is their head coach, Chase Buford. Coach, what's been the most impressive part about this winning streak?
I think just the collective competitive spirit of our group. I think we get after it a lot in practice. They like to go out and compete and have fun. And a couple of those games, you've really seen it. You know, we just put the pedal to the metal and really worked out the whole game.
New Zealand Breakers, that can be a tough outing, starting to play some good basketball when they're at full strength. What are you expecting tonight?
Yeah, tough game. You know, they've given us 2 tough games this year at home, and we expect nothing different. They got a lot of good players, especially offensively. They can really score, so we'll have to be locked in on the defensive end.
Now, heading towards the business end, towards finals, what are those last couple of things you're trying to fine-tune before business end?
Yeah, just exactly that. I think fine-tune some things, make sure we know where we want to be defensively and offensively, keep growing.
Thanks, mate. Good luck tonight. Thanks, Pete.
Chase Buford moments ago as we have a look at the DoorDash lineup for DoorDash, the delivery MVP for the New Zealand Breakers.
Jason Randall comes out of the starting lineup. Usman Jeng comes in, the NBA draft prospect. He's been coming off the bench for the last 6 games, and he moves back into the starting lineup. Geez, isn't he playing well? He was absolutely outstanding the other day in Bendigo against Southeast Melbourne. 22 points, 6 boards, 6 assists. Killing it, Copes.
He's killing it now. You know, I must say I was critical of him early in the season because he was so young, Took him a little time to grow, but he's grown now. He's playing with men, and it's only going to help him when he gets to the NBA. The other night, he was shooting the ball like a pro. He's a pro now, so good on him. I hope he continues to do what he does, and good luck to him in the NBA.
Step back on Mitch Creek, who had high praise for him after the game on Sunday. We're ready to go. Bendigo Basketball Stadium. Boys, breakers for either of you?
No.
Let's get it going. Hashtag NBL22 to get involved. False start number 1, false start number 2.
Flip a coin.
You know what they say, Copes? Third time lucky. And there you go. It rings true. Hungry Jacks NBL hoops for a Tuesday. Delaney and Cooks, nice matchup.
Adams.
Here is Jeng. Got a good little look. But you spoke about those matchups prior to the game off air, Coach. Are you surprised by anything there?
I'm surprised they got Adams on him. I think, Adams is a very good player, but he might just be a bit too small. James 6'10", can shoot it. He can handle the ball. He gets it down the court. Now, Adams obviously has experience on him, but the size does matter. Size matters.
Here is this matchup. Delaney guarded by Cooks. That'll be another one fun watch to go at. Shot clock down to 5. Jing's going to go to work again, and he just dribbles it off his foot. And a couple of early turnovers for these two teams.
The matchup I find interesting is Wani Swakala-Bullock going to Peyton Seaver. I mean, he's their defensive stopper, Swakala-Bullock. And they clearly see Peyton Seaver as the head of the snake. And if they're going to impact on this Breakers offense, they're going to try to slow down his impact.
Vasilovic. Martin. Vasilovic for 3. Wetzel skies for his first board of the night. Delaney. So coolish start for both teams. Martin on the attack, takes the bump from Wetzel, who in the end did enough. And now it'll be the Breakers to try and score first on a Tuesday night in regional Victoria. Wetzel at the other end, it's able to get it to go. Takes the bump, plays through the contact, kisses it off the window.
That's another fun battle. The versatility and mobility of Jarrell Martin down one end, and Wetzel, the strength and how tough he is as a pick and roll target down the other.
3 early boards for Yanni Wetzel. Here's Seaver at the other end. Mid-range jumper, no good. Adams, guarded by Abercrombie. Pulls up. Short. First 4 shots for the Kings, all misfires. As Adams bumps Abercrombie. His first of the night.
Slow start. The one thing I like about New Zealand is, forget about their record, they play hard every night.
Seaver. Shot clock down the 5. Couple of early fouls. We hit a Vasilovic hand check on Abercrombie. Not a great deal of intensity early, as Copes mentioned, Liam.
Well, Denchmere will be wrapped, keeping the Kings scoreless over the first 2.5 minutes, of course. That's the challenge for the Breakers. Seaver pulls up, can't hit the floater. Can they get some stops? Defense been a huge issue for them all year, especially over this 7-game losing streak.
Cooks in game 50, in and out.
Jeez.
Wetzel, rebound number 4. We know he's a monster on the boards. Couple of good looks though for the Kings, and they've just rattled out early days.
These coaches love to work the referees, don't they? Working them early.
Here's Jeng. Jeng, little floater, loves it, got it to go, rattles it home. And the first 4 points for the Breakers.
He's so tough. He's tough. His size alone, and you want to know why the scouts are looking at him. His size, man, and the way he handles the ball.
Martin, 3, no good. And there is Jeng on cue. He has grown, I think, Liam. You might have more of an idea. He looks taller. He may just be playing taller, but he looks taller than the guy we had earlier in NBL22.
Well, a little growth spurt at the start of the season. He came into the year saying, I'm 6'10 now in shoes on the floor, but I also think he's filled out a little bit. You know, he's growing in his, just in his strength. He's a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger, and as a result, he's handling the physicality out there in a grown man league a little bit better.
As we look at him here, Copes. Tough little 1-foot floater, which has really made his mini trademark in the last month or so as that confidence has grown. Here's Adams, splits the double. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 to try and break this opening drought for the Sydney Kings. That was on Usman Jeng, and that's his second foul. So Dan Shamir looks like he might need to call the young man to the bench. In fact, he will. Hugo Besson comes in for his first minutes.
I mentioned the NBA scouts in the building. Cam, just having a look through our cameras pre-game. The place is swarming with them.
It is.
Teams represented from right across the association. Of course, others taking a good long look from distance. And yeah, not an ideal start for the youngster. 2 fouls in the opening couple of minutes.
Jalen Adams makes both. Of course, a reminder over the course of the night, the Sydney Kings are the away team. So the Hungry Jack's cheeseburgers will be on the hand of the Kings from the foul line. Here's Besson. Another one the NBA scouts will be keen to see as the shot clock gets down to 8. Wants to use the Wetzel screen. Delaney, got to get it up. Shot clock closed. Besson, has it expired? Couldn't get it to go. Adams pulls up. They are ice cold. Now none of 8 the Kings from the floor to kickstart this one. Besson wants to take on Martin.
Wow.
Abercrombie.
Look how they swing
Extra
that
pass wide open. That was no good. It's been a coldish start from the floor for both of these teams. Vasiljevic tries to change it and does exactly that. And after all the good work the New Zealand have done for the first near 5 minutes, they find themselves down.
Well, I'll tell you what. Vasiljevic makes a shot. Watch the next one. It's going up. And I love that about him. He's aggressive. He's confident. He knows what he can do.
There's a few guys like that around the league, aren't there? Vasiljevic is certainly one. Jason Kadee, one of your former players. Chris Golding.
Absolutely.
Hugo Besson here for the Breakers. Once they hit one, get them the rock next time down the floor.
Second turnover for the night, the Breakers, as Besson hit Wetzel away. He wasn't looking. Here's Adams, guarded by Abercrombie. Shot clock into single figures. Glover. Martin inside. Nice pass, was able to get it to go. Makers made his entrance for his first minutes of tonight with Glover as well. We'll have to wait for Vasiljevic to get that second shot up, Copes, as he takes a little seat on the pine.
I know. What's happening there? You make a shot and you sit down.
McDowell wide. Again, the shot clock dangerously low. They're 2 of 10 from the field now, New Zealand. Sydney 2 of 9 on the other end. Adams' little step around was nice. They kept it way short. Besson, but somehow got to Abercrombie.
Jeez.
Glover with a great defensive stop there. McDowell White, I think, was playing for the professional foul, and in the end, caused turnover number 3 for the Kings. Besson, floater, got it.
Well, that'll help the Breakers. They need to find a little bit of rhythm and space, flow in their offense. The Kings doing a good job fighting through screens, loading up towards the ball and making things tough.
Maker. Got the mismatch on McDowell White. Wants to turn and face on him. Talking about a young man who's added some confidence. Finds Glover for three. Right in front of the Kings bench, and don't they love it? Four-point lead. McDowell White, little two-man game with Delaney. Abercrombie, 18-footer, rattles in on the Bendigo rim and gets it to go for his first points of the night.
That's the trademark jumper from Abercrombie. All-time leading scorer for the franchise, and a lot of them have come off that elbow Jimmy.
Great pass from Adams. Make a roll to the bucket. In the end, Abercrombie had no real choice but to foul it. The young star, and he'll go to the foul line for two.
He's been playing so well, McCool Maker, in recent times. You see what he can do offensively there. I've been really impressed with how he's worked the glass over the past 3 or 4 weeks. Playing extended minutes, really worked his way into being a key part of the rotation. Especially when Xavier Cooks was out for a few games, he got a bigger role and came out impressed and has earned himself a bigger role.
He has, and the good thing is he can get it off the glass and bring it down the court, make a good pass, or pull up for the three. So he's very dangerous.
As he breaks the hearts of the Bendigo and Victorian kids in particular, as the Hungry Jack's Cheeseburgers will need to wait for another visit to the charity stripe. He nails the second. Delaney, three. Great pass. Little two-man game. McDowell White was able to flick it back out, and Finn Delaney nails a three. His first bucket of the night. We're all tied up at 11. It's going to stay on the ground.
There's the pick and pop from Delaney. I've seen a lot of this all season long. Shooting less than 40% from the field overall, Delaney, on a tough year, but he can get going.
Absolutely.
We know that. We've seen it earlier in the season and in previous years.
Bales on for his first minutes and has it knocked away onto his foot, so a turnover number 4 for the Kings.
Certainly not the start they wanted. Both teams shooting dismal numbers, I guess.
How is this, Copes, when you're Sydney? And we seen it with Perth a couple of weeks ago when Tasmania rolled into Perth. Is a little different being on the road, although in a unique setting. You're on this winning streak. You've got a big game on Thursday against Illawarra. How is the mindset? How hard is it as Delaney's able to knock 2 straight? How hard is it to maintain it? You've been in a team that has a long winning streak before.
It's tough because these are the teams you expect to beat. So your main focus are on the tougher teams. Nice job. That's my man.
Xavier Cooks goes baseline with that length. Able to throw it down. Delaney, this time a running start. He kicks it out to McDowell White for 3. And that's 3 straight threes from the exact same spot for the Breakers.
They're rolling. Delaney, bang, bang, and now he's confident. Puts it on the deck, draws in the defense, finds the open shooter.
4-point lead for New Zealand. Good pass inside to Maker. He gets fouled. He'll go to the foul line for 2.
Here's Xavier Cooks. Spins baseline, finishes with authority, and that's the attack I'm talking about from Delaney. I love seeing him play with confidence and just reads, reacts, and sets up his teammate.
Generally takes a quarter for you to get going again. They know they need to be playing better than this. And, you know, a couple of choice words by the coach to get you back on track.
Baker nails both. 3 or 4 from the line for their young man, and leads back to 2. Basson. Kept alive by Lowe, and it's kept alive to the hand of Randall for 3. He can't hit it. Lowe got a finger on it, but couldn't quite get it to a teammate. Now it's the Kings with a chance to tie or take the lead through Xavier Cooks. Good D by the Breakers. What can they do here? Maker. Glover, great pass. Straight down Jamaica, who throws it down. Great bounce pass, drew a couple of defenders.
He's a big boy.
He most certainly is. And he's got 5 tonight, his first field goal there. About an 8-second differential between the shot and game clock. Basson. Got it.
Wow.
They're finishing this quarter on a heater. Bales from half court. No good. That ends the first quarter with the Breakers. After a sluggish start from both teams, holding a 3-point lead at Bendigo. It's 20 to the Kings 17. First quarter in the books. And Usman Jeng, we've spoken so much about him, and again, although some early foul trouble, with some very interested onlookers, he's looked good early. And he's fun to watch with that length, and he's filled out as Liam Santamaria spoke about. Now, Kmart Fam Camp. It is all going on. Look, Luke Longley. What a superstar he is.
He's a regular on the Fam Camp.
Yeah, he is. And you know what? So well he should be.
That's right.
Because he's a legend. There's a lot going on. But I've lost my train of thought. Brett Jones, congratulations to you. Sorry, $50 Kmart gift card on the way to you. And I had the opportunity to meet the great man after recent Kings game. Such a top bloke, which I think every single person in the country would agree with.
I'm still amazed at how big he is. You know, I've known Luke for a very long time, but you don't see him for a while. And then you walk up on him and go, this is a giant. Mm-hmm. He's a giant. He's a gentle giant now. He's a lovely guy, always trying to help you with something. He's a treasure.
What'd you make of the first quarter, Liam?
The Breakers got hot towards the end. 4 late triples is what broke it open. They've been active defensively. Kings have missed some good looks, but I like the energy from the Breakers early. But those 4 late triples, 2 from Delaney, 1 from Will McDowell-White, and 1 from Hugo Basson. Really the difference in the early going.
Shot clock down to 3. Little floater from Xavier Cooks in game number 50. He's got 4. Leads back to 1. Delaney, the catalyst. Basson, he was able to get one to go as well. Can he get another one to go? Not on this occasion. Glover with the rebound, and now Vasiljevic will push for the Kings. No Ian Clark tonight if you're just joining us. What a pass. Xavier Cooks felt he got hit. Referee said nope. Either way, it's 2 points, and the first 4 points of the second quarter to the Kings, and it's a 1-point lead.
I love the way Cooks plays. He just moves without the ball. You don't have to run any plays for him. He'll take it off the glass, take it down. He's a willing passer. Just a quality player.
Kept alive again by Lowe on the offensive glass. Bales. Spins on Basson, gets all the way to the cup and's able to get it to go.
Good take. Bales just exploring, probing in transition, seeing what's available and getting on the attack.
Last 6 here for Sydney. That just speaks to the depth of this Sydney Kings team, doesn't it, Coach? You talk about Glover, you talk about Bales, we speak a lot about Maker. We're going 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th player on this very deep team.
You know why they're so good, though, the guys that come off the bench? Because they're playing against quality in practice. You know, Bales himself is playing against Adams every day, so you're going to get better. Glover and those guys that come off the bench, they have to come in and guard Cooks and Clark and these guys, and it just makes them better.
McDowell White misfires, and then Bark just gets right in the lane, and Vasiljevic worked his backside off and did enough. Bark's looking, referee says it's going to be a Sydney ball.
He had cruel intentions there, Rasmus Bark, in transition. Saw Vasiljevic coming and said, I'm going to try and flush this on you. DJ had other ideas.
Adams, here is Vasiljevic. Shotlock down to 8, lovely move. Couldn't get it to go. Yanni Wetzel with rebound number 5. Siva on the attack. Siva wants Wetzel. Maker's done a good job to get him a lot further away from the bucket he would have liked. Has to take him off the dribble and did everything right except for the last millisecond where he fouled him, and Yanni Wetzel will go to the foul line for 2 after we hear from Pete Hawley courtside.
Here we go 2. Let's line up, please.
Well, guys, Chase Buford will definitely be happy with the first few minutes here from the Sydney Kings. During that quarter-time huddle, he said the intensity's just got to be picked up a little more. He was happy with the way they started, but even speaking to some of the players before this game, they really wanted to make sure that they brought the energy and intensity to start this one. They thought they got away with one against Adelaide last game. They were a bit flat. They were poor overall. They can't afford to have that. They've got some big games coming up, and they would have been a little bit upset with the way they started, but a good 3 minutes here.
It's a good call. Chase Buford post-game said we've been really taking steps forward over the course of this winning streak, but after that one he said we didn't tonight. Right. That was not what we're about, and they, as Pete says, they got away with the win. Obviously no Ian Clark in the lineup right now. He gives them a whole heap, but on a cold night in Bendigo midweek, got to try and find the energy.
Adams. Going to get him on a travel. She tried to get the defender in the air, Finn Delaney. He got him in the air, Copes, but he did it illegally, so it doesn't count.
Absolutely. He's having a stinker, isn't he? 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from the three-point. 2 turnovers. But again, we spoke about teams like this, won that many games. You need a bit of luck. Like you said, they didn't play well against Adelaide, but they're so strong from 1 to 10, you know. It'll get them up, it'll get them over.
Dan Shamir, they've had 1 point just over 3 minutes in this second quarter. We're going to hear from him now.
Let's go 2 flash here at the top. Okay, Siva, 2 flash. Okay, over here. Things are switching. Okay, that one. Okay, let's have Tom coming here on the back. You go to the corner. Okay, so you stay here, you go to the corner. Doesn't matter for what. Okay? You just come off, you set it, and then read it. Okay, if they drop, you screen, you pop. If they switch, let's find Yanni in here. Okay? Create space. If it's a switch, create space. If we go come back, you remember what we do. You come to screen, you reject him. Okay? Remember what we do on the comeback. Okay?
Here we go.
Well, as you said, Cam, they've been struggling a little offensively to begin this second term. So Shamir's focus offensively is really just on this one next possession, just trying to get that breakthrough bucket to get them going.
What do you do with Usman Jeng here, Coach? 2 fouls early in that first quarter. He's sat for a while now because of it. When do you look to re-enter him into this second quarter?
Well, you want to get him in there sometime in the second quarter. You don't want to let him sit the whole second quarter. So I reckon 5 minutes into, the second, you want him feeling good about himself going into the third quarter. So, and he's coming now.
Former breaker Tom Verdanovic in and draws that foul for his first minutes. Usman Jeng back in. 2 early fouls after a wonderful performance on Sunday. Maker had to get the double team. They've kept it alive. Now Adams has to get to work. Shot clock. Couldn't quite finish it. Still a cold start for Jalen Adams. Zipper 5. Abercrombie. Verdanovic come over and is able to spike that out of the air, and they'll push through Swaka Lubulik, who just leaves it for Galloway, who goes right at Usman Jeng. Well, I'm not sure did a great deal wrong, but I think they'll get him anyway. He might have just been moving. And if so, that'll be number 3. And that re-entry, Copes, might be very short-lived.
That was a smart play by Sydney. I'm going right at him. First thing I'm doing, if a guy's got 2 fouls, is posting him up or going right at him. Now, as a coach, you want to get him out, I think. Liam, what do you think? You leave him out there?
You know, it's a tough one. He's playing at such a high level. It's so much of what they're about right now is his minutes, is showcasing him to finish this season. I might be inclined to just let it ride, see if he can catch some good fortune. You see Hugo Basson striding to the score table. That might be the sign he's on his way out.
And yeah, there's a lot of scouts there to see him. But I honestly think he's done enough. I mean...
Here he is on the step back. Couldn't get it to go. You think Sunday did enough? But not just Sunday. His last month has been brilliant.
It has been. I don't think they know what they're getting. They know they're getting a 6'10" guy who can handle the ball, can shoot it. He's grown in strength and experience by playing with these guys, so.
Maker's got 8 the other, and another man who might just get a little interest from the scouts in the stands tonight in Bendigo. Here's Adams. Coolish start, finds Martin inside. Too big, too easy, too agile. And this quarter has been all Sydney. It's 12-1. 1 point, as you see there, in this quarter for the New Zealand Breakers. Seaver, got to get to work. McDowell White for 3. They're 4 of 16 from the 3-point line, New Zealand. They hit 4 in a rush in that first quarter, and outside of that, they've been stone cold. That's easy. Adams misses an absolute gimme. They keep it alive with an offensive board that Martin misses one he would normally make as well. Seaver for Wetzel, and he'll go the foul line for 2.
Well, that's what they needed. Little trip to the free throw line. Here's some of the NBA scouts in the building, making some quick notes on this little McCool maker, like the stroke, pick and pop, what he can do. Timeout, Dan Shamir needs to talk about their offense. I feel like they've got away from what was working a little bit late in that first quarter with Delaney. Pick and pop, pick, short roll.
Might be Usman Jeng's family, I believe. In Bendigo to continue the impressive play of the young man who we all expect to be in the NBA in the not-too-distant future. Bit of a frustrating night for him so far. It's only three fouls, couple of points in just over 6 minutes' time.
We'll talk about what was working for the Breakers in that end of that first quarter. That was actually what was great for them a lot last season. Helped Finn Delaney become an all-NBL second-team type of guy. Teams had to work out how to guard Finn Delaney in that ball screen as he made decisions off those short rolls. But with Yanni Wetzel coming into the team this year, it's been all about him as a pick-and-roll target and Delaney more as a catch-and-shoot guy on the wing. So it was cool to see him get some more of those looks in that first quarter, but spent a bit of time on the pine, and they've gone away from him.
You might not have caught this, Copes, but NBL overtime right before this game started. Liam spoke about Finn Delaney and his future. Do you think he'll still be at the Breakers next year? There's going to be other clubs who are going to be interested. What's the feeling you get? Would it be a good time for Finn Delaney to maybe explore somewhere else?
I'm fascinated to see how that might play out. He's played his entire career with the Breakers, of course. He's a proud Kiwi. Loves representing the jersey with the tall blacks. Loves playing for the Breakers, has done for a long time. But there does come a time, I think, for a lot of players where you think, maybe I would benefit from a change of scenery, broadening my horizons a little bit, just getting a different look. And off the back of what's been a difficult year, a bit of a plateau in his development, coming into free agency, I'm fascinated to see how it might play out.
Listen, there's heaps of teams that would want him because I've loved him since he was a young kid. And I actually remember being in Sydney and telling Gazy, we got to go after this guy. Because a couple of years ago, he was an absolute superstar. Now, he's still a superstar, but he had a couple of great years under him. And he developed a jump shot. He was always strong on the boards. And he got a bit smarter. So, yeah, I'd love to see him playing somewhere else.
So Andrew Gaze didn't think he could play?
Well, let's just say he stayed in New Zealand.
7-point lead, no field goals yet in his second quarter for the Breakers. Couple of freebies, that's it. They led by 3. Here's Seaver, can he change that? They've got to get it up. Here's Wetzel inside. Shot clock's about to expire. Turns it over anyway to Galloway, takes a little bump, and this is ugly.
Cue the music. The Globetrotters are in town, aren't they?
Some here, coach.
That's right.
Remarkably still, they only find themselves 7 points down to the hottest team in the league. Now, still in the first half, of course, but you go through not hit a field goal in 7 minutes against a team that's trying to get to the top of the ladder.
Cam, listen,
straight.
When you got a team that's won 11 or 12 straight games, what do you want to do? You want to make it ugly. You can't compete with these guys if you let them play their style of basketball. So, you know, credit to New Zealand for making the game ugly.
Still going to put the ball in the bucket,
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Martin passes inside to Cooks and the Twin Towers again.
The thing about the Breakers is they haven't turned any game into a grind for a really long time. And they've given up 95 points per game over their last 7, lost all of those games. So a lot of it's been what we saw in that last possession, teams getting layups against them. If they can hold tough, as Siva knocks that one in response and get some stops, they can keep themselves in the game.
Adams
is just
loses it. He's having a rough night so far. Now they'll push the other way. Delaney, great D by Martin, did enough. Wetzel still can't get it to go the first time. Tips it in the second. Jarrell Martin was great on Delaney, but in the end, Yanni Wetzel, he's got 6, including 10 boards on the night for the big man. Here is Adams. No field goals yet. Can't finish it there. Martin at the other end.
I don't know what Adams, I don't know who Adams or what Adams did yesterday, but someone pulled the dog out on him, didn't he? He can't buy a shot.
Seaver using the Wetzel screen and just drops it off to him. What a pass, but better defense by the Kings. Kicks out. Delaney for 3. No good.
Surely.
That's just too easy.
Surely. There we go.
That's just too easy. As Adams able to get it to go. And when you're looking for a bucket from the field, it doesn't come none easier than that, Leonard Copeland.
1 for 9.
Basson took on 3 Kings, got the bump. Xavier Cooks picks him up and sends him to the foul line.
That last one's a real letdown from the Breakers because, you know, you're having some struggles offensively. You're having a really tough quarter in terms of putting the ball in the bucket. The only way you can stay in the game when that's happening is to show some effort at the defensive end. So to just stroll back, give a guy a layup who's having a tough time getting going himself, that's a real letdown from Dan Shamir's squad.
And sometimes when you're having a bad game like that, when you see that ball go in the hole, it opens it up for you. I think we've all been there.
Hugo Basson. Second no good. 8-point Kings lead as we get close to the last 60 seconds of the first half. Maker inside. Delaney with great defense. Now it's Vasilovic who has to shoot it over Delaney in the end and able to get it to go. He's got a couple of threes on the night that leads out to 11. Basson got it.
Wow.
He's got 9, 2 of his own threes.
2 shots, Jalen. 18, 1-8.
Spark tried to get over and cut Jalen Adams.
There's a couple of sharpshooters trading hits from long range. That was tough from Vasilovic, and then Basson well and truly in his kit bag.
Now Jalen Adams to the foul line. As Copes mentioned, 1 of 9. He's got 4 points. Couple from the foul line as he tries to get a little bit of momentum. This man who is the front runner for the most valuable player.
That's true. We spoke highly of him early, but he's certainly not playing that way tonight, is he? He's having a bad one. The last time he had a bad one like this, he had that big dunk to win the game. Was it against Brisbane? Yeah. He had a stinker and just brought him home with a dunk.
Well, I speak for everyone when I say I hope we get a finish like that tonight, because that'll be the best way for a Tuesday night to finish. Better 12-second differential. Seaver, no good. Glover's got plenty of time. Shot clock is off, and the Kings will have the last shot you would think of the first half. Maker, great pass, Adams. Little throw down by the star. The next star, he's in the double figures. The lead is 11. They kept it ugly, New Zealand, but their inability to be able to put points on the board in the second quarter is the reason they find themselves down 11 after leading by 3 at the first change.
Yeah, they've been able to open it up, the Kings. It was a 3-point game at quarter time, but double digits for the purple and gold right now.
Pete Hooley is courtside. Hools, take it away.
Well, guys, I'm with Xavier Cooks. Cooksy, bit of a slow start, but really turned it on in the second quarter. What changed?
We weren't used to their switching defense. We haven't played against them for a little while now, so it kind of threw us off, and everyone was playing a bit too much individual basketball, but knowing the ball, do the movement, and all that kind of stuff is working well for us.
Coach Buford keeps talking about bringing energy, intensity. Hard to do away from home. How do you make sure you start that way in the third quarter?
It's what we train every day to do it, so it's part of our job to play hard every day, so we've got to find a way.
Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
Well, don't go anywhere. This one's just about to heat up. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Hungry Jack's halftime highlights and an interesting Tuesday night in Bendigo. Finn Delaney got going in the first quarter. Angus Glover does what he does off the bench with his deep Sydney team. That shot was so good we had 2 angles of it. But Finn Delaney was great in the first quarter, but they really struggled. Look at Xavier Cooks get upstairs. They really struggled for any consistency in that second quarter offensively, Copes.
At both ends of the floor, Copes.
Absolutely. Absolutely they did. As you said, Delaney got hot early. They made 3 or 4 threes in a row. But it was ugly basketball. I mean, they did not play the way they should be playing. Sydney got going. Cooks got going. Maker, this guy. Again, we spoke about him getting the ball off the glass, coming down the court, bringing the ball down the court, and he's done well. He's got 10 points, 4 rebounds. Cooks his regular self with 8 points. Brisson knocked down a couple of threes. He got going. And Finn Delaney, as we spoke about in the pick and roll, was able to knock down a couple of shots himself.
You see the numbers. Look at the field goal shooting from the Breakers. 11 for 36. They shot 3 of 17 in that second quarter to put the numbers around their struggles offensively. But also down the other end as well, that the effort wasn't there in that second term. They kept the Kings to 17 points in that first quarter. And this is what's been happening with the Breakers. They'll play one good quarter of defence and then they let it slip away. And that's what happened in that second term where they struggled at both ends of the floor.
Do they have the cattle to play consistent defence for 4 quarters? Is that a legit excuse?
I think they've got the guys. It's just such a grind for them at this point in the year. After not playing at home all season long, it's just a really hard thing to do.
Well, Xavier Cooks is going to play at home in the playoffs, and he is leading a very good team, and he's doing exactly tonight. 8 points, couple of boards. He's lengthy. We know how great he is defensively as well. He's a tough cover. Doesn't matter what team. If you're a team like New Zealand who's struggling or one of the top teams, you got to stop this man.
I'm probably the wrong guy to talk about him because I love him. Honestly, I got a man crush because I like what he does. You don't need to run plays for him. He gets the ball off the glass, he brings it down, he passes. Willing passer, can shoot it. Better 3-point shot now, but he's a hard worker. He plays hard every night.
He does, and he spoke about it then with Pete Hooley only moments ago, and Pete asked him about playing hard, and he goes, hey, it's our job to play hard each and every day. It's refreshing to hear someone of his talent and his skill level right now when the form is in talk about the fact that every game matters. Now, we spoke a lot about Usman Jeng and the next star at one end of the court, but at the other end is a young man who's playing well in the Kings jersey.
Yeah, Makur Maker. He's been impressive for a number of weeks now. We spoke about him off the top, his work on the glass, but at the offensive end, he's been putting that skill set on display tonight. Picking, rolling, finishing hard at the rim, and just getting to all the right spots and making plays. We know he can do it from outside as well. That's what makes him such an intriguing prospect. The length, the size, the handle, the ability to score inside and out. And as his motor has increased over the course of the year, his work rate, his effort on the glass, he's really started to impress over these last few weeks. And that's a really nice first half from him.
And again, we spoke about these young guys who are playing against veteran guys, Adams and Cooks, every day in practice. So obviously he's going to get better. And you see it throughout the year. Like in the beginning of the season, he was nervous when he started playing. Now he looks like a professional, and hopefully one day you'll see him in the NBA.
And we spoke about this, Liam, a little earlier in the night, but the fact that these young guys with NBA scouts and all the eyes on them as a year, it's cool to see them playing their best basketball. Not just these 2 particular men. Look, Porty's another one who's playing really well for Melbourne. These next stars are standing up and saying, all right, we've had a little bit of a taste of professional basketball. We know that if I want to play in the NBA or whatever my dream is, we've got to start to step it up. And they are doing it almost week in, week out.
And it's happening right across the league, as you say, with some of those teams that aren't going to make it. They're getting some extra minutes. You mentioned Hook Porty and Makur Maker in particular. These guys are getting it done on championship contending teams, playing an important role. Looking forward to seeing what they can do in the playoffs.
I'm looking forward to seeing that man who had 3 fouls in the first half, what he can do in the second half, which is coming on the other side of this.
10 minutes?
Yeah, we got, for whatever reason, we missed. We're creating good shots. We missed a few. We need to stay consistent with how we create them. Hopefully, we're going to make some. Yeah, definitely, we're creating the space. Hopefully, make a few shots and score more.
What do you need to do on the defensive end? We know the firepower of this Sydney Kings in this last 20 minutes to come away with a win.
What do we need?
What do we need to do on defensive end?
Well, today we're switching a lot. Their bigs are very good pick and roll rollers, facilitators, and passers. We're switching a lot. That creates some issues that in the low post we suffered a little bit in the first quarter. We need to defend together in the low post. Great one-on-one defense, defensive rebounding. This is the kind of stuff.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Second half.
Dan Shamir with some really good advice for basketballs around the country. Score more. And it's something they couldn't do on the first attempt into the second half. Back to the same starting five for the Sydney Kings as Jalen Adams is misfiring on a big three.
That's what they need, the Breakers. That possession was a perfect example of the energy, the intensity, the activity that they need at the defensive end. Fight through some picks, late in the shot clock if you have to switch. Make sure you move your feet, contest. That was more of that, please, from the Breakers.
Xavier Cook spoke about it, oh no.
That's going to be the fourth foul. Usman Jeng, sorry to break in there, Copes. Martin was able to shuffle the feet and get across. And Usman Jeng, who had 2 fouls in the first quarter, played all of about a minute in the second quarter, and he's going to play less than a minute into the third as he goes to the bench and Hugo Besson comes on. But it's very hard to try and even disagree with that one, Leonard Copeland.
Yeah, that was a charge. Maybe he's just... That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
He's done a really good job in the last couple of weeks of being able to pull up and float that mid-range, something he hasn't done on the last 2 attempts.
Do you think by starting him, put more pressure on him? Because he's used to coming up. Wasn't he coming off the bench the last couple of games? Now you're starting all of a sudden. The game looks different to you.
Offensive foul on Xavier Cooks.
And there it is again. Siva draws that foul on that handoff because he's fighting over the top. It's not a soft switch or trying to slip underneath, trying to take a shortcut, fighting over, working hard. It's a couple of stops.
Siva, step back. 5 of 21 from the three-point line of the Breakers. Cooks v. Wetzel. It's fun to watch. Wetzel takes the points there. Delaney in rhythm. Got it to go. He had 6 points in 30 seconds in the first quarter. That's all he'd scored to that moment. He's got 9. First points of the third quarter for the Breakers. Adams, 1 of 10. Now 1 of 11.
4 straight stops. Contested, mid-range pull-up. That's exactly what you want to live with from a Breakers perspective. And then the previous possession, good footwork from Yanni Wetzel, and then they're energized, out in transition, flowing with confidence. This has been a really nice start to the third quarter from the Breakers, both ends of the floor.
And what we fail to say is they have nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. Just go out and play basketball, man. You know, the switching hurt them early, hurt the Sydney Kings early in the first quarter. Cook spoke about.
Besson, nice little double clutch, finishes with the left. Now he has slipped over, so it's a 5-on-4 here. Advantage for Sydney, and Jarrell Martin, by shuffling the feet, can't take advantage of it. Turnover number 9 for the Kings.
Is that 5 stops in a row?
This is a nice finish. I think it is. Copes. Just beautiful finish there with the left, coming down the lane. And then a good job Delaney. Short close out, didn't leave his feet. Turnover from Martin. Yet another stop.
First 5 points for this third quarter for the Breakers. Here's Besson again. Delaney turned it down. Siva did not. And in the end, it was the right pass to make as Seaver made it. But Finn Delaney's feeling it, Liam. Would have been nice to see him have a crack.
That's the kind of action we're talking about in that first quarter. Finn Delaney, pick and roll, catches short roll. He makes good decisions. Sometimes he attacks, sometimes he finds his teammates. Seaver knocks it down.
First 8 points. As Martin loses it. That'll be on Peyton Seaver. His first foul tonight. But Dan Shamir told Pete Hawley at half-time they need to put the ball in the bucket, and they've done that. 8-0 to start the third quarter. Cooks, 3. Kept alive by Adams. Vasilovic, 4 on the shot clock. Lets it go. And over Peyton Seaver hits the 25-footer.
Isn't he tough? He's tough. He's always been like that. Full of confidence. Can shoot it from anywhere.
Delaney gets Cooks in the air. Couldn't thread the needle to Wetzel. Went and got it himself and found Basson for 3. It wasn't overly pretty. But it's not how, it's how many.
He's playing hard, man. Finn Delaney. Second efforts, diving on the floor. That's 4 assists for him now.
Vasilovic right back at him. Can't make that one go.
But didn't we know he was going to take that next shot?
11-point halftime lead cut to 3. Abercrombie, little floater, couldn't get it to go. Xavier Cooks pulls down rebound number 4. Double team on Cooks. Martin's the man left open. A passionate Dan Shamir in the background urging New Zealand to run as they've got all the momentum. 11-3 to start this third quarter. Seaver. Martin with the great D, and now to be the Kings a run. Vasilovic gives a little hesitation to Basson, then takes the bump. That'll count, and 1 to come.
Just tough, man.
That's beautiful.
You wouldn't know he had a leg injury a year ago, would you?
He's just so confident late in the clock. Happy to let it fly. Here's the hustle from Delaney. Sets up Basson. And look at the little hezzy. Just freezes the defense, blows by, finishes through the contact.
Into double figures is Vasilovic. He's got 11. Just the 1, so the Hungry Jacks chance a little bit redundant in that particular situation.
Certainly are. I was thinking, what's happening here? We moved on to 1 shot, 1 miss now. Are the people are they hungry down there?
They're hungry. They're hungry for good hoops, and they're seeing a good game in their backyard tonight in country Victoria. Basson, 14 on the night. And now he'll go to the foul line for 2. Swaka Lubulak gets his first of the night.
You know, some people might think I'm crazy when I say this, but sometimes when you're playing as good as Sydney is, a loss doesn't hurt you because it makes you refocus. It gets you, you know, because now you know we're not invincible. I got to go back to the drawing board. We got to work on this because it can be fool's gold sometimes when you're out there. So sometimes when you're rolling and you've won 8 or 9 games in a row and you lose one, it makes you refocus.
Vasilovic had it batted away, and now the Breakers, after forcing turnover number 9 with a chance. Wetzel inside, great pass. Finn Delaney. Wetzel's got 8 points on the night, throwing 11 boards, and there's the third quarter, 15-6. That's waved away, leads back to 2.
And again, that bucket created from an aggressive Finn Delaney. Just rips it, attacks, finds Wetzel underneath. Delaney, 9 points, 3 boards, 5 assists, and a steal.
We're midway through this third quarter.
So much action with them, though. Everyone's moving, everyone's passing the ball. They look engaged.
Glover takes the bump from that man, Finn Delaney. Second of the night.
He's been actually really good this quarter, Delaney, on those situations, guarding perimeter guys who can put it on the deck, of sitting down, moving his feet, staying in front. Wetzel's been doing a good job of it as well, but Delaney, that wasn't ideal because they're over the limit. Easy opportunities at the free throw line.
Now the Hungry Jacks cheeseburgers in play. As you can hear in the background, a couple of Breakers fans. Couldn't get Angus Glover to be off on the second one. One possession game. Just over halfway gone, third quarter. Basson. Now Jalen Adams. Maker inside. Seaver letting the referee know it's on the ground. They are over the limit. So Maker's going to go to the foul line for 2 anyway. Chase Buford asking for an unsportsmanlike foul.
Begging for it.
We are going to have a look to see if it will be upgraded. It is definitely on Peyton Seaver. That's no question. Dan Shamir talking to Hugo Basson. Here we go. So, reviewing. No play at the ball.
I think Chase Buford's going to get what he wanted here.
I think so too. And you can see what Peyton Seaver's trying to do, but the rule is the rule.
It just wraps him up.
It just wraps him up.
What's he supposed to do, though? That's my question.
You just got to play it out. You just got to play it tough. You can swipe at the ball, try to pick up a hands foul, but you don't ideally want to do that because you risk a three-point play opportunity. But this is part of what the rule's there to prevent. They don't want to stop transition opportunities, and they want the free flow of the game so the offensive player can go to work.
Thank you. The play's been reviewed. The call on the floor is confirmed. It is a normal foul against Pink 1. We resume with 2 bonus shots.
Thank you, Liam.
There you
Normal
go.
foul, 2 shots.
That shock you, boys?
A little bit, yeah.
It did a little bit. Unless the only reason, did they call the foul on the first entry pass where he kind of half... I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm surprised that's not unsportsmanlike, considering some of the stuff we have seen called.
Right.
And we now all agree of what the rule is in for. But the Hungry Jacks cheeseburgers are in play regardless of what foul it was called, and here we go.
Cam, I think you're looking forward to a cheeseburger as well, huh? There we go. Got him.
There it is. The code is drink. Hungry Jacks free cheeseburger for the state of Victoria, of which, yes, you're right, Leonard, I do reside. So I'll be heading to Hungry Jacks after this game. Basson.
Jeez, they're moving the ball, aren't they?
They are, and it hands to Finn Delaney, who can't finish it. Got a good look. That ball movement again evident. As Leonard Copeland just spoke about, here's Adams. Sizing up Finn Delaney, getting past him and all the way to the bucket. On what has been a bit of a tough shooting night for the MVP frontrunner, who's able to get that to go. He's got 7.
Yeah, he's 2 of 12 from the field, trying to get himself going. Meanwhile, down this end, the Kings have bitten on about the last 10 shot fakes from the Breakers. Everybody coming up off the floor, and Chase Buford starting to get a little frustrated by it.
Seaver, shot clock down to 2. Going to the left. Little midweek wedgie in country
we have a
region of
wedgie on
Victoria.
Sunday as well. We have one on Sunday as well.
I love a wedgie, Bendigo.
Yeah. Bendigo wedgie.
Finish joining us. 3-point lead for New Zealand after 1. 11-point lead for Sydney at the long break. And New Zealand have been great to get it back to 5, but that with some creative first, a little hezzy.
And that's the Jalen Adams we know.
He's got 9.
ugly 9, but we'll take that 9. Won't we?
Exactly. McDowell White, great pass. Yanni Wetzel. He's in the double figures, which means yet another double-double for the big man from New Zealand. Cooks. Right at McDowell White, had the height, missed the first one, went and got his own. And he's able to get it to go.
And that's where the switches can give you trouble. You know, if that's Delaney, he can body up there. McDowell White fought hard, but Cooks is always going to have the advantage down low against these guards.
Delaney, nice move. Got a little running start. Cooks was on the wrong foot. And Finn Delaney's nice night continues. 11 as he gets into double figures. Leads back to 5. Adams, pull up. 13 boards, as you can see, for Yanni Wetzel. Now it's McDowell White to try and make him pay through Finn Delaney. Turnover number 11 for the Kings. Here's Basson. McDowell White, long way from the bucket. Uses the Wetzel screen perfectly and is able to find the big man cutting to the bucket. Cut, copy, paste, repeat, whatever you want to call it. It's back to 3 again. As New Zealand are able to get a couple of buckets in the row through Yanni Wetzel. Adams to break that duck. He can. He's got 12, 1 of 7 from the three-point line. The lead is 6. Delaney for 3. Little pick and pop, couldn't get it to go. Wetzel. It's going to be a maker.
This is just two guys really good at operating in the pick and roll. Will McDowell White, playmaking. Wetzel as a roll man, and Adams is just starting to feel good. Operating off the bounce. He's got 12 now. Yanni's got 12 as well with 13 rebounds, as you say, Cam. Another double-double for the big man.
McDowell White. This time it's Delaney, who turned down the 3. Takes a little bump from Vodanovic.
Delaney's starting to play with a lot of energy now. Today just looked like he's really involved.
Pete Hawley is courtside.
Sub the pink coming, Damo. Sub the pink. Sub.
Well, you're spot on with Finn Delaney, and it started when the moment they came out to warm up. He was very energetic, very vocal throughout the entire warm-up. Even when everyone else went back into the locker room, he stayed out. He was very chatty, and he's been very vocal towards the coaches back and forth, just making sure that everybody's on the same page, trying to talk through what's going on out there. And it's a noticeable difference when you see him out and the way he's playing. He's being very aggressive, and he's making things happen on both ends.
Contract year, baby. Coming to the end of the season.
Someone might have called a little NBL overtime.
I actually thought he brought the energy the other day against the Phoenix as well. He was active, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Picking it up, playing with a little bit more activity.
Bales. Surrounded by pink jerseys. Yanni Wetzel is going to get pinged.
Line up, we got 2. 2 shots, here we go. One out, please. Behavior warning, no more.
You heard it nice and clear. Dan Shamir, behaviour warning. Bales misses the first. Keeping in mind, you've got to challenge up the sleeve, Cope. So if you're actually not at all happy with the call, and we have seen Dan Shamir challenge in the first couple of minutes of the game. So we're late in the third quarter here as Bales hits the second. McDowell White got to get to work. Does. Abercrombie couldn't get it. Much better quarter for New Zealand. They're within striking distance, while Sydney are trying to win their 12th in a row. 5-point lead for the Kings. We'll get to Bendigo for the fourth quarter on the other side of this. Hungry Jacks NBL, quarter to go, and we're looking like a good one. Hugo Basson's been good. Peyton Seaver able to knock it down. Finn Delaney's been everywhere. And they're trying to end this 11-game winning streak the Kings are currently on. Cheeseburger's given us away as well, all thanks to Hungry Jacks. And we've got a good 10 minutes ahead of us, Liam Santa Maria.
The Breakers have won 2 of the 3 quarters so far. Just they got whacked in the second. Kings 24-10 in that term, but they are well and truly within striking distance.
You know, it's been since 2005 that the Kings have won on a Tuesday night. And they could have the Tuesday night jinx. Huh? It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
How many games they played on a Tuesday night since 05?
I don't know, but guess what? It's been a long time, bro.
Yeah, I agree. 17 years, I reckon. There you go, Vidanovic on the back, or in the back of Finn Delaney. I like these jerseys as well,
The
Coach.
pink ones?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, they're nice. Color coordination, huh? Nice.
5-point lead. Opening moments of the fourth. Basson. Shot clock down the 6. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Yanni Wetzel, who wasn't set when Hugo Basson was trying to get rid of Angus Glover. Hey. And there is the NBL's chaperone to the NBA scouts. Just going to show them the sights of Bendigo tonight. Of course, very bright lights in Bendigo as well tonight. Hence the sunglasses needed for our very own Corey Homicide Williams.
He's high
Bale's nice move.
on the
Again,
Kings.
Finish it.
He's on the Kings.
He's monstrous in the Kings.
Says give the rings to the Kings.
Mate.
And he's gone down to Bendigo to watch them in person.
He's not handing the rings over. He hasn't taken the trophy down, has he?
It's easy to jump on the bandwagon when you've won 11 in a row. Shout out to Homicide.
He knows where the camera is as well. He knows well and truly.
Ben Harvey there.
It's on him right now. Ben Harvey.
On the left.
Vince Crivelli.
Talking about
that is Celebrity Row.
Local legend, Ben Harvey. Most certainly is that. And there is Yanni Wetzel. Not sure if he picked up an errant shot or a nice pass from Will McDowell White. Either way, it's a bucket. It's back to 3. Cooks. Vidanovic. Long rebound for Zavilovic, and he just pulls up from 14 foot and knocks it down. That's a little bit of frustration there because New Zealand were good, and the ball went into the hands of a shooter.
Well, it's the little things. Shot goes up, everyone's ball watching, standing around, thinks someone else is going to collect the board, and they give up second chance points.
Am I wrong in thinking Joel Martin hadn't done a lot tonight? What's going on with him?
Well, the Breakers front court have taken the honours so far. Martin and Cooks have been dominant over the course of the last couple of months. But Delaney and Wetzel tonight outplaying them.
Certainly are.
McDowell White. Here's Basson. Loves this. Straight on 3. In and out. Had a good look. Refused to go down. Lead stays at 5. Vidanovic, nice little lob from Bales, and in the end, he was able to get that little screen. 5-point lead, 7-point lead for Sydney. Last 4 points for Sydney. Vidanovic. His first bucket of the night on a Tuesday night in Bendigo. Did you ever play at this stadium, Coach? Play much?
I think I did back in the day. Back in the day. Yeah, back in the day I think I did. I think I dropped some big numbers.
Bet you most certainly did. That was traditionally how you handled most of your years in the NBL.
Well, this might have been on a Wednesday night. Remember the old
VBA?
VBA?
Bendigo Braves, such a long, deep tradition of great basketball teams over the years.
Fantastic. We'd play on a Wednesday, and train and have a Friday off and then play on a Saturday or a Sunday. Okay. You had two chances to play well. Daisy would always get 50, 45 on a Wednesday.
7-point lead. There's Dyson Daniels. Speaking about local legends and deep traditions, the Daniels family have been very good at basketball in a long time in this part of the world, and he continues as he heads towards an NBA draft in a couple of months' time.
Talking about a man who's growing, he's 6'6" with hair. So, and they give you a couple of inches in America, so he'll probably be 6'8" by the time he gets there.
I had the privilege of sitting down with him in Cleveland in the All-Star weekend, and it was noticeably as Wetzel can't get it to go. He'd noticeably, you spoke about Usman Jeng filling out.
Yeah.
It got taller, but he had Dyson Daniels likewise, and that's what happens when you put yourself in any professional environment around the world.
Coach, you said they give you a couple of inches extra in the States. So what did your agent bill you as in terms of your height coming across the Pacific?
When I came to Australia, they had listed me as a four-man. So Lindsey Gaze and Al Westover thought they had a four-man coming in here to rebound. I certainly fooled them, didn't I?
Oh.
There was no rebounding, bro.
I'll tell you
Put
what.
it up, get it out.
Hey, I bet you Robert Sibley was happy when you docked and you're only 6'4".
Worked out well.
Worked out well.
Wetzel nails both. It's a 5-point lead, and they keep hanging around. Adams. Cooks took his time, waited for the defense of Sky by and were able to get it to go. Xavier Cooks has 12. You see it there, 6 of 10 from the field. Efficient as always for the X-Man in game number 50. Jeng, 4 fouls, hasn't played a great deal of minutes. Can he get to work and warm up?
Jeez, he's got good handles.
Takes a little bump. Didn't matter, gets it to go.
Nice handles for a big man. I say big man, 6'10", on the wing. Shooting guard.
Cooks. Great pass inside. Adams got it to go.
That's just veteran play.
It's taken him a while, Jalen Adams, but he's in a groove now against these switches. He's finding the seams himself. He's finding the mismatches down low. They're going to have to mix up this coverage, the Breakers, because Adams is tearing them apart.
Wetzel, guarded by Cooks, been fun all night. This time it's a little rolling jump hook. He's able to get it to go. 18 points. You throw 13 boards in. That's just another night at the office for the big Kiwi. Cooks right back at him the other way.
Going up. Going up.
He's going to have to. Shot clock's at 7. Vasiljevic.
Going up.
You called it Leonard Copeland, and he gets a nice friendly bounce from the Bendigo rim.
Absolutely.
7 points for the Kings. Delaney, open, long. Had a good look.
He's missed his last 4. Finn Delaney from long range. Started off 3 and 5, but has gone cold.
And you mentioned it earlier, Copes. Still no Jarrell Martin. So we get deep into this fourth, and you might not need him when Vodanovic goes upstairs. Nice little pocket pass. And he's able to throw it down. So we're about to see Jarrell Martin check back in. Wetzel. Again, they're going to let it go. Tapped away in Glover. Right at Jeng, who's got 4 fouls. Did enough in the end, though, to not foul and say no. Now the Breakers will push. McDowell White, full head of steam all the way to the bucket. First, Vodanovic and then Cooks.
This is what I'm talking about Adams working out these switches, sees it coming, knows the timing, sets up Vodanovic to the rim. He knows what they're going to do. There's no element of surprise. He's got the read early. And Sydney are getting whatever they want at the offensive end.
9-point lead for Sydney. Yanni Wetzel to the foul line, and he's had a big night again, as I touched on. 18 points, 14 rebounds for the big man. His big year continues in what's been such a trying year for New Zealand. His body of work tonight's been no different to what he's done so much of NBL22, Liam.
Well, nice bounce back. He actually had his colours lowered the other day against Joe Chi. It wasn't his usual dominant self, 14 and 6, but Joe Chi had a big one. And tonight, he's been really energetic. The combination of he and Delaney has been terrific, highly efficient, because he's mainly been shooting layups and throwing it down. So he's 7 of 9 from the field, 18 and 14. Having a big night. Challenge is, can he and his breaker teammates do enough in this next minute or so just to give this thing a little shake?
Would you have him in the top 3 in centers in the NBL?
Top 3 centers?
Yes.
Yes.
Who are the other 2?
JLA. Jerome Martin.
Yep. Yep. Around this time is when we really start to look towards NBA Summer League. He's, of course, had a wonderful collegiate career at San Diego State. We expect to see him in Vegas, Liam?
Wetzel. I'd like that.
Did he leave Southeast Melbourne because they offered him more money, or Southeast Melbourne didn't want him back?
Oh no, they wanted him back.
Okay, I was going to say, because he had a great year with them last year.
A 3-year deal on good cash with your home country team, that's tough to beat.
If I'm Southeast Melbourne, I would have tried to beat it because he had a great year with them.
Well, every other team in the league as well, right?
Right.
Should have been in that conversation.
Absolutely. I love the guy. He can play. I mean,
Highest scorer tonight, he's got 20. Leads back to 7. Big stop here needed from New Zealand. Martin for 3. They get it.
You know, the other guy gets a little overlooked in those conversations, whether it's a center or a stretch 4. Dwight Reith.
Yep.
He's slipped away a little bit in the mid part of the season, but isn't he in terrific form heading towards the finals?
7-point lead. Seaver. Abercrombie. Martin. Adams takes a pretty hard hit.
That's a big hit.
He's hurting a little bit. As you can imagine, he's able to break down Finn Delaney, and that's how you make a play at the ball and make sure you don't give up a 3-point play.
That's how you make sure he didn't come back in there.
And that's where he's been doing a little work, dancing at the top of that screen, confusing the defense.
Here we go.
Forcing the switch one way, forcing them to switch back, brings it back, and as soon as he sees the defense a little bit unsure, just gets on the attack.
This is what the best players in the world do, Copes, in whatever league it is. On a tough night, toughest shooting night, he's given you 15, 5 and 5.
Started off 1 for 9, I think it was.
Yeah, made that 16 points.
He's quality. We always knew he's quality. The Sydney Kings go as he goes. So once he got his play together, they started playing a lot better.
9-point lead. Delaney wasn't the greatest to pass. Abercrombie was able to get it up and kept alive by Wetzel to the hand of Basson. Seaver. Guarded by Cook. Shot clock again, really low. Basson just got to let it go. And Cook's with rebound at number 6. And the lead's at 9. And the clock, most certainly the friend of the Sydney Kings right now. There's a bump. Referee says play on. And Finn Delaney will take full advantage of it at the other end.
That's the surprise we're talking about. That hasn't been there. Wasn't a soft switch there. He runs at him. He gets the deflection on his lower leg. Forces the turnover.
11 turnovers on the night for the Kings. Here's Adams in attack mode. This time he takes the bump. It'll stay on the floor. Abercrombie picks up his second.
Okay. Base, White. Last two. Yeah.
7-point lead. Stays with the Kings from the baseline.
Watch your line here.
What kind of message would the coach from the Sydney Kings have for these guys if they win going into the locker room later?
We're going to need to be better.
Absolutely. I was going to say this.
We've got the Hawks in 48 hours.
That's right, because there's no way you can come out and play like this against the Hawks. They're going to kill you.
Glover's short. Basson's got to push. Wetzel, here comes a double team. Ends up in the hands of Delaney, who's able to get it to go. Double team came. Wetzel was able to kick it.
They're not out of this. They're not out of
the
this.
weak side, Siva with the extra pass. He's got 5 assists. It's back to 4. We're into the last 90 seconds. Adams. That is how you say, you know what? I've had a bad night, but I believe I'm the best player in the league, and I'll prove it right here on a Tuesday in Bendigo as they try to win their first game on this particular day in 17 years.
It's been a long time, Cam. It's been a long time. But this is what we talked about. He is a leader. He knows what it takes to get that win. Struggled all game. 20 points now. 19 points, 6 for 17 from the field. 5 rebounds.
He's a big-time player. Coming up with big-time players in big moments. You know, this is not a finals game, sure. They probably might have been able to get over the line anyway, but in this fourth quarter, he's gone to work. That was the highlight reel play of it all, but he has really just taken control of this fourth term. Absolutely. Setting up his teammates. Some of it's turned up in the box score, but for the most part, it's just turned up in composure for the Kings, knowing that the ball's in his hands, it's going to get into the right spot. And now they're in pole position to grab a 12-game winning streak, the second longest win streak by any team in the last 13 seasons of 40-minute NBL. Chasing, of course, the 2013 Breakers, who went on a 16-game win streak on their way to that third straight championship.
Is that under Dean Bickerman?
Lamanis.
Sorry.
7-point lead for the Kings. Basson to inbound. No good. Kept alive, only to the hand of Xavier Cooks in the end. And we're into the last minute. So New Zealand need to get desperate here, while Sydney will want to take time off the clock. Adams guarded by Siva. He's got 19 on the night. Vasilovic, long. Cooks kept it alive. Only to McDowell White. They've got to roll. Siva, Wetzel, layup, left, good. It's back to 5. Cooks. Siva had to foul. Great pass from Siva. 17.7, 5-point lead for the Kings. What do you say here, Copes, if you are Chase Buford? You got the ball, 17 seconds to go, 5-point lead.
Simply say, guys, keep your head up. You know, it's an ugly win, but we'll take it. You know, you're not just because we won 13 games in a row or 12 games in a row, however it is. Not every game's going to be pretty. You know, and I think New Zealand did a great job of coming out, making it ugly early. And, you know, they got nothing to lose. Sydney did what they had to do to get this win. You got to, like Liam said, though, we got to get better. We got to get better because we got this monster coming in on Thursday that's not playing in games. They're trying to win a championship, so.
I'm going to say right in this huddle right now, though, he's saying don't turn the ball over.
Oh, absolutely. You're right.
Get that thing in bounds.
Absolutely.
Five-point lead. Two fun games for the locals in Bendigo to enjoy in the last couple of days. Glover. Martin. Wetzel just had the foul, which was fairly obvious. Got nearly 4 seconds off the clock. Short now go to work. Has to be quick. Basson down 6. Step back, gotta go. Long, Adams, and that'll do. They were valiant in defeat. We're the Breakers, but that man has led his team to 12 in a row. Chase Buford and the Sydney Kings continue to stay the hottest team in the league with a 6-point win at the Bendigo Basketball
Stadium. And although it's a win, he didn't look happy, did he? He's not happy. He knows they have to get better. He knows if you're going to win a championship, we got to play better than this.
He also knows that the best teams in the league, or any league, win these games even when you don't play your best basketball.
Absolutely.
That's the longest win streak by any first-year NBL coach since 1983.
Wow.
For Chase Buford now. 12 in a row. Chasing Cal Bruton.
Wow.
From 1982.
Pun intended when you said chasing. Hey, Pete Hall is courtside. Pete, take it away.
Well, guys, I'm with our Foot Locker player of the game, Jalen Adams, who's been beat up a bit tonight in this one, but 12 in a row. How'd you go about getting this win?
It was a hard-fought win. I feel like it was one of them defensive games. They switch a lot, so it kind of made us a little stagnant on offense, but I think we did a good job of just fighting, and regardless if it's ugly or not, a win is a win.
Was a bit ugly in the first half. You mentioned that switching. Did Chase Buford address that at halftime?
Yeah, he kind of told us just move the ball. He felt like we were trying to just either do it ourselves when we got the switch or just play through the post directly, and he thought we could have just been doing some of the same things that got us here, and I think we came out and did a little bit better in the second half, but enough to get the win.
Tough night for you in the first half, but how does it feel when you're maybe struggling shooting the ball? Maker came in, DJ was hitting shots, takes a bit of pressure off?
I think that's just the way we've been all year, man. We don't really care who's doing it. And I think that's what makes this team special. We got a lot of guys, a lot of talent who can do a lot of different things. And tonight wasn't my night, especially in the first half. But my teammates picked me up, and I'm glad we could pull out the dub.
Well, talk us through it. You were 1 of 9 before you hit that deep three. You might have had a layup before that. First thing that goes through your mind, keeping in mind that it is only 9 p.m.?
Yeah, I'm letting that go every day of the week. Yeah, I shoot too many shots during the week, work on my game throughout the week, so even think about not taking that. So, you know, Chase kind of got my ass a little bit at halftime, and I was playing a little selfish, but I made it, so who cares?
Well, you're the hottest team in the league, but it sets up for a big clash against the Illawarra Hawks. What are you looking forward to about that one?
It's going to be a special game. I don't think we caught them when we were healthy, and I don't think that they're the same team that we played back there. I think they're playing real good basketball, and they might be just as hot as us. So it's going to be fun, and we got to do what we did defensively tonight and play better on offense.
Lastly, I've got to ask you, regional Victoria we are right now. A couple of MVP chants being thrown around for you. Listening for those anymore, or are you still not listening?
Nah, man, I'm still not listening, man. I'm just trying to get through the year. We got 12 straight, man. Hopefully we can make it 13 on Thursday.
Congrats, good win, mate.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
Jalen Adams, Pete Hawley alluded to it there. It was a toughish start. One of the first 9. He ends up with 19 points, 6 and 5. And this is what the best players do.
Man, we spoke about it early. The Kings go the way he goes, and he struggled early, but he's a veteran. He's a smart veteran, and that's why Chase brought him over here. He knows he can play basketball.
He's also a closer. They have so much confidence knowing that they can give him the ball in the fourth quarter. He's going to make good decisions. He's going to find the open guy, and in big moments, he's going to make plays like that.
And there was no bigger moment than that. It had got back to a really manageable lead, and New Zealand needed one stop, and they couldn't get it. Pete Hull is back courtside. Take it away, Hulls.
Guys, with another star of tonight's game, DJ Vasiljevic. DJ, it's tough to win a couple of games in a row, let alone 12, and it was a battle, which what we expect from the New Zealand Breakers. How'd you find this one?
I think it was very, very sloppy on our end. New Zealand's one heck of a team. Yes, they've done it tough the last 2 years, but they always put up a fight. But on our end, we just got to improve. We've got an important game Thursday. If we play like this, we're going to lose.
Talk a bit about that first half. Your star point guard, Jalen Adams, is struggling. You stepped up. Makey came in to make an impact. Angus Glover speaks of your depth.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ian said it a couple of weeks ago that anyone can get it going at any time just because of our depth. So, everyone stepped up and we got the win and we won 12 straight.
Now, you showed even last year in your rookie season playing alongside Casper Ware. Now you've got Jalen Adams. What's it like playing alongside when he gets in those mindsets in the second half?
It's just unreal to play with talented players like that. When J.A. is going, you just let him rock, and when he doesn't have it going, you got to give him support, which I did tonight. Then he got it going. So I think we're a great backcourt together.
Now you got 12 in a row, but it sets up for a really big clash against the Illawarra Hawks. What's it going to take to make sure you keep this going?
Play defense, rebound, and just keep doing what Chase tells us to do. We can't come out sloppy and lackluster, so we just come out strong.
Well, lastly on that, talking about coming out sloppy, you're on the road, you're always in the hotel, a lot of games in a short amount of time. How do you make sure you come out fresh?
You just got to recover well, got to get your sleep, got to eat, got to do all the little things. So I think we've done that, and hopefully we get a dub on Thursday.
Good game tonight, mate.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it, mate. Thank you.
Dejan Vasiljevic, he talks about talented backcourt and playing with great players. He's most certainly one of them. And he's just an added bonus in the way that he's playing. We didn't get to see him all of last season because of the injury, but we're loving what he's doing this year, Liam.
Just quietly going about playing really well. Dejan Vasiljevic, he's just there to help him tick the scoreboard over and doing a really great job of it. 7 straight games now in double digits. And there you see the shot chart, SodaStream. And he just gets it done in so many different ways, from long range, mid-range, can get to the rim, has a real nose for the bucket.
But he's an efficient scorer too, Coach, which helps when you've got a guy who sometimes will be a high-volume guy like Jalen Adams.
And he's always been like that. Since I've known him, since a young kid, he's been very confident. He's confident in himself. He thinks he can make every shot. And when you got a guy like that, then he's gold. I mean, and it's evident the way he speaks. He knows he can get it going at any time. And I think he was like that in college as well.
Well, he most certainly was, and he's translated perfectly to the NBL game. There's Dyson Daniels, local hero. NBA draft beckons for that young man. And an ad break beckons for us. We'll be back on the other side of this. 6-point win for the Kings. Hungry Jacks NBL highlights on a Tuesday night in Bendigo. Xavier Cooks. Angus Glover. This young man was really good. 10 points in the first half. We talk next stars. We're going to talk a little more about him. Stepped out, NBA scouts in the building. Showed a little bit of range. Hugo Basson. Talking NBA scouts, he was good. Finn Delaney. Contract year. Energy's up. And we know what he can do. Able to find Yanni Wetzel. He throws it down. We'll get to Yanni Wetzel again as well. But you mentioned it, Jalen Adams. But you mentioned it a bit earlier, I think, Copes. This New Zealand team, after everything they've been through, they still play hard and compete. And there was a couple of times, in particular late in the second quarter, where you thought, hang on a second, on the road against the best team or the hottest team in the league at a minimum, I'm not saying they'll throw it in, but they just continue to fight and be pesky. And other teams have to play the full 40 minutes to win games.
And that's hats off to him and the coaching staff because, again, people at home don't understand. If you've been on the road for 2 years, it's easy to just pack it up. And they're not doing that. They're playing hard. Yes, some are playing for their contracts, but these guys are competing night in and night out. And it's again, it's hats off to them.
I really like that effort from the Breakers. We spoke during the game that the previous 7 games, they'd lost all of them and they'd given up 95 points per game. Tonight, against all that firepower from the Kings, only gave up 76. If they'd knocked down some shots, they would have won that game. The Breakers, they went, 9 for 37 from 3. 37, that's a lot of three-point attempts to throw up when you're only shooting 24, 25%. So, geez, if they had to knock some of those good looks down, they were going to win that game.
It didn't help either that Usman Jeng, we've spoken so much about him, he gets in the foul trap, 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes, comes in, plays 44 seconds, picks up his third. The coach calls for him to come back in, comes back in, gets a charge straight away and ended up probably a little shook up. Now, he didn't get fouled out, but he was chatting to the medical staff on the bench at the end of that game. So their best player, or at least their most viable threat, in particular on the weekend, wasn't there for so much of the 40 minutes.
And you're right. And I spoke about this. He's usually coming off the bench. But now you start him. There's tons of scouts in the stands. Maybe a little bit nervous. You know, you got those 2 fouls, and then you start overthinking. And again, now you come in and get that third one straight away. It's over for you.
Well, you've been in that situation a little while ago.
I don't foul like that, though. I've never been like that.
Yeah, I know. You've got to pretend to at least play defence to foul.
Wow.
Was a stopper.
Too soon? What?
Yeah, okay.
No, but, how do you handle it? Because it is something you have to handle when you've got high price or at least you're highly rated and you've got to be able to step up in certain situations.
It's tough, man. It's tough. You got to be smart enough to know I can't stick my hand in there and get that third foul if you want to stay on the floor. But if you don't, man, it could ruin your confidence, you know?
And it was disappointing for us as neutral basketball fans to see Usman Jeng on the sideline.
We were expecting a lot more.
We were, and it's I'm sure he's disappointed. The NBA scouts are there and probably a little disappointed, and us basketball fans are as well. I'll tell you what, though. Xavier Cooks never disappoints. Game number 50 in the NBL. He's long. He plays both ends of the court. He's fun to watch. He does it with pizzazz, and tonight was no different. His ability here, we look at this, gets above the rim. McDowell White tried to stop him. Two-hander for Xavier Cooks, but he is always in the right spot as well. His basketball IQ is through the roof.
It wasn't his hugest performance, was it? 12 and 7, a couple of blocks. He's usually is a bit more of a dominant force than he was tonight, but he was always active. Like you say, I've caught him for a couple of years now. He's like the Sean Marion of the NBL with his skill set and, like you were saying, just his motor, how active he is at all times. And it's so fun watching him have a big year because it's been a couple of really heavily interrupted seasons with injury. He missed the chance to play for the Boomers a couple of years ago because of injury. So to have a runway to a really healthy season, he's potentially on a road to a championship.
And he gives you something different. You know, we're talking about the Boomers. He can get it off the glass, take it down. He creates for people. He scores. He's always active around the ball. And like you say, he's always in the right spot.
And he's a guy who's been to the NBA Summer League. And again, I raise this because while he's got bigger fish to fry locally, that's always something the calls are going to come. You speak about the Boomers. I've heard you speak a great deal about it and the opportunities that he's going to get over the next couple of years. And it's so fun to have him in our backyard doing what he does. NBA, internationally, that's what we expect from Xavier Cooks, NBL game number 50. Congratulations. Now, he's a little deeper into his career, but as a next star for Sydney, who was really good, in particular the first half tonight.
Yeah, Makur Maker. Yeah, we spoke about him at halftime. Really good first half. And he's playing well over recent times. McCoolmaker wasn't hugely impactful in the second half, but at times when they needed some score to tick over in that first half, he was really good, picking and rolling, catching and shooting. And the second half of the season, Copes, he's grown more comfortable. And right now he's playing an important role on a team who's going to be playing in the postseason.
You know why he's getting so much better now? Because he's training against guys like Martin, and he's playing against Cooks every day in practice. And you're going to get better. He's building his confidence. If I can play strong against these two guys who are two of the best centers in the league, then why can't I play against anyone else?
And the thing a little bit different with him is that he's had to work himself into rotation, as you touched on, with a team that's really good. Hookport is the same at Melbourne. Now, I'm not taking away from what, say, Usman Jiang or Tom Digber have done, but they've got opportunities because that's the way the season's really played out for their teams. He's forced his way into the rotation on the hottest team in the league, and that's a big plus.
Yeah, and the way he's done it is he's doing the little things defensively, and he's getting on the glass. Now, everything at the offensive end from Chase Buford's perspective, that'll come. That's a bonus. But he's built the trust from the coaching staff and his teammates through his defence and his rebounding. Now he's part of the rotation.
Before we get to New Zealand, Sydney, are they your championship favourites right now?
I would have to pick Sydney or I'm on the fence.
No, don't sit on the fence, man.
Sydney or Melbourne. Right now, the way the Sydney Kings are playing, but take away tonight's game, the way they're playing, their confidence, I would go with the Sydney Kings. Yes.
I'm glad you said that because you gave me one of the two.
Come on, Cam. Come on,
man. Liam?
I think Melbourne right now. In the playoffs, where it gets a little harder and tougher and becomes a little bit more of a
experienced
grind.
Coach.
Vickerman at the helm. I think I'll give them the edge.
Now, there's the streak. Second longest win streak by any team in the last 13 seasons. Longest, of course, is New Zealand. That ended in a championship. Longest since 1983 for a first-year coach in the NBL. Was it 83?
82.
82.
Was that Cal?
Cal, yeah. I mean, he's chasing a few guys, but Cal is the one he's trying to knock off next.
And, of course, their first Tuesday night win
since 2005.
And what did they do that year?
I have no idea.
They lifted the trophy.
Did they really?
That would be their last championship in 05, right?
Wow.
There you go.
Fantastic.
There you go. All right, Yanni Wetzel, again, no good for New Zealand when it comes to team success, but this man's been a man mountain all year. Tonight, no different. 22 points, 14 boards. Again, I talked about efficient earlier with Vasiljevic. This man is the epitome of efficient.
Well, I'll tell you who enjoyed this, John Casey, sitting in his,
yes, he did.
in his
we spoke about it on Sunday.
in Adelaide tonight because he caught in the best centre in the league the other day and he really didn't show up against Joe Chi, the big pretzel. But today, huge game. 22 points, 14 rebounds. Outplayed Jarrell Martin. Really outplayed anyone who was trying to guard him for most part. Such a dynamic player in pick and roll and just a tireless worker. You can bank on him to keep plugging hard all game long.
Hey, we spoke on NBL Overtime tonight, and of course that chat continued over the course of the game. It is a contract year for Finn Delaney. He's out of contract at the end of this particular season. We know how talented he is. All NBL second team last season, and he was really good tonight, Copes.
He was fantastic from the word go. More energy than usual. Knocking down threes, diving after balls, making the extra pass, and just playing hard. You see him on the floor, and that's the Finn Delaney we're used to. Like, he's been a bit down this year, but usually he plays like that. And again, I picked it from when he was a younger kid. I was trying to get him to the City Kings, but I knew he was going to be a superstar. And like Liam said, they moved him from 4 to 3, I think, and that's probably hurt him a little bit this year, but he's still a very good player.
Hey, we know how tough it's been for New Zealand, and I think everyone in the league has echoed that a million times over. And Chase Buford only moments ago said this in his press conference.
Yeah, they're a good team. You know, the way they did a great job on their switches tonight, which I think really stagnated us. I told the guys in the locker room we got really sticky with the basketball, and that's never a good way to attack that coverage. But credit to them, they made it really tough on us. You know, if I said that the other night wasn't a grinded out, this one was definitely a grinded out win. So proud to get a win when we weren't maybe at our best. But yeah, credit to New Zealand. I feel for Dan and their group so much, what they've been through. We got to find a way to get them. I don't know if it's 19 home games the next couple of years, 20. Like what they've done for the league to keep the competition level up and to be as competitive as they have been. They deserve a reward at the end of the tunnel, and I just can't give them enough credit for what they've been doing.
Chase Buford moments ago talking about how tough it's been for New Zealand. We've touched on that exact point he made on NBL Overtime. They should play away teams next year once only, and everything else is in New Zealand.
For sure. I mean, they deserve something in that regard. It's going to be so great to be back there playing home games, but I think that would be, if we can find a way to do it, and some other teams, everyone buys in, that would be a nice way to thank them.
Amy Ladder, 12 straight for Sydney tonight. This is where it stands. They go to 17-7. Melbourne still sit atop, and they've got that percentage difference as well over those teams that are chasing them for the top spot. But what a big weekend, Copes. This is going to be kickstarting Thursday night.
Illawarra, Sydney. Let me say this.
Go on.
If Sydney play like they play tonight, Illawarra will win that game. So Sydney, whatever Sydney needs to do to go back to the drawing board, they better get it right, because they don't, they're in trouble.
Big games for Perth as well, both at home against the 36ers and the Taipans and the Jack Jumpers. 2 winnable games in their eyes as they're right there at the top 4, knocking on the door. And what's going to be a wonderful round 20, all thanks to Amy, starting Thursday night with that blockbuster. Copes, Liam, thank you.
Thank you, Cam.
Thank you, Cam.
In the end, 6-point win for Sydney at Bendigo. Hungry Jacks NBL, you got one night off. We'll be back with a double header on Thursday night.
Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise, I'm top tier, I'm that guy. I'm the man of the year, I'm a man with no fear. I think like I'm a shark, the way I move so sharp.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
I'm fine with you shooting the ball, but you know it's a good one.
Yep. Chase, congratulations on the 12th straight, mate, but that's a team that's given you a lot of problems this season, and tonight certainly no exception.
Yeah, they're a good team, and Dan's a hell of a coach. You know, the way they did a great job on their switches tonight, which I think really stagnated us. I told the guys in the locker room we got really sticky with the basketball, and that's never a good way to attack that coverage. But credit to them, they made it really tough on us. You know, if I said that the other night wasn't a grinded out, this one was definitely a grinded out win. So proud to get a win when we weren't maybe at our best. But yeah, credit to New Zealand. I feel for Dan and their group so much, what they've been through. We got to find a way to get them, I don't know if it's 19 home games the next couple of years, 20, like what they've done for the league to keep the competition level up and to be as competitive as they have been. They deserve a reward at the end of the tunnel, and I just can't give them enough credit for what they've been doing.
Defensively, the second quarter, you really locked down. I think you held them without a field goal for about nearly an 8-minute period. I mean, did you feel like that was the key to kind of grabbing control of what was really a tough game?
Yeah, for as good as we were in the second quarter, we're probably equally as bad to start in most of the third. But no, it was a good defensive performance. I thought we got a little bit outside the way we want to guard. We were in rotations a lot. We were jumping at shooters a lot. But I thought the effort, the intensity was there, and they probably missed some shots they normally make, but we were able to rebound the ball at a really high rate tonight, which is especially on the defensive end, which is what you need to get wins.
The guy sitting next to you struggled, I would imagine, by his own admission in the first half, but obviously in the second half he was outstanding. What was your message to him at half-time?
Walking off the court, I told him if he could wake up in the second half, that'd be great. In the locker room, I told him in the 2 years I've coaching him, that's probably the most, I'll say the word, not the words I used, but it was not his best. The best, probably the worst half I've seen him play. But credit to him, he came out, was really aggressive. He looked over at me at one point in the second half. He said, I might be sucking, but at least I'm guarded. And it was true. He really, really competed on the defensive end. He helped us get some stops. You know, he got 6 rebounds tonight. I think the Kings are 11-0 when Jalen Adams gets 5 or more boards. So, you know, he's our leader. We go as he goes, and we're really proud of the way he stepped up in the second half and carried us over the line.
Is there any concern with kind of the last couple of games, the slow starts offensively? Obviously, defensively it's been great for the most part, but any concern at all with the slow starts sort of coming into the last phase of the schedule?
You know, I thought we got a couple good looks early. Then we started forcing when we went dry for the first 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, again, it's not like you can start every game on a 30-10 blitz to start the game. We want to play that way, and when we can, we will. But sometimes you're going to not shoot well, and sometimes your offense is going to be a little bogged down for whatever reason. And we dug ourselves out of it tonight. I thought in the second half and in the second quarter especially, we started hitting the roller, finding some good actions versus their coverages. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think I don't want to say we've turned it off, but our switch hasn't been as turned on as we were the previous few weeks, both in practice and now in games to start. And I think we have to know we got to stick to what got us here. That doesn't mean we're going to come out and be up 15 in the first quarter, but it means we got to stay true to our principles, stay true to our habits. And I think if we do that a little bit better, especially to start games, we'll be in a better position.
Jalen, did you feel like, obviously they're a team, Chase mentioned, that switches a hell of a lot. Did you feel like in the second half you personally kind of figured that out a little bit? It seemed like you were able to make a few more better reads in that second half?
Yeah, I think I was just kind of coming off a little passive and settling in the first half. I had been shooting well the last couple games, so, you know, I just kind of relied on the jump shot a little too much in the first half. And Chase told me in the first half I should get by, or early in the second half that I should attack the rim late in the clock. And I said something back to him, but I knew he was right, though. So I just kind of started trying to attack the rim, and I got some shots to fall in the third, fourth.
Big one late.
Oh, sorry, Chase.
Gosh, big one late. He got to fall for sure.
Yeah, that big 3. Jalen, in terms of just the team and the confidence you're playing at, I mean, 7 straight road wins now. I mean, what does that say about the group that you seem to have come together? And one thing I've noticed, even from afar, is the chemistry seems to be outstanding, and it's something that is kind of built throughout the season.
It's 8 straight road wins, isn't it, Matty?
No, 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 if you get Thursday.
Yeah, I think we just growing together. You know, we don't hang our heads when we having rough halves and when we not making shots. We always come together and say we got to string some stops together. We're doing a much better job of just executing the game plan and defending every night, I think. And like Coach said, it's the last couple games I think we fell off a little bit, but I think we've been hanging our hat on defense for the majority of this run, and that's something that we really got to lock in on and get back to going into Thursday.
Matty, we're 17-7 now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we're 9-3 at home, right?
Yeah.
And we started 0-4 on the road.
Yeah, no cap.
So that would be 8 straight.
Yeah, no cap.
Sorry, not to call you out.
That's fine. Just a couple more from me. The minutes tonight, Chase, it seemed like you got everybody on the floor. Was that by design to just try and manage the minutes, obviously in a really compressed schedule?
Yeah, a little bit that. You know, playing Jalen, we got him in the last couple games. I think just with the bodies we have out, it was a good opportunity for him. I was actually really sorry, Galloway, when I say Jalen. I thought Jalen did a nice job when he came in there. Some of the other subs, it seemed like it was just we could never get a dead ball to get in some rotations too. And I think part of it was just protecting Rel through this tough stretch a little bit as well. So a lot of different variables went into it. MK was great in the first half, and he didn't get as much of an opportunity in the second half. That's probably on me a little bit, but again, it was sometimes just couldn't get a whistle to stop the game. But no, trying to help guys get through this stretch. It's a long, big week. Obviously, if we could have played Jalen, maybe a few less minutes been better, but at the end of the day, we knew we needed him to get us across the line.
And yes, you're right, it is 8 straight. I was looking at my old notes, it was 7. That's all right. Just finally, Thursday night, I've got to talk about it just quickly. The 1000th game for the club, but more importantly, going up against a Hawks team that's won 6 straight and has been flying of late. I know it's a very quick turnaround, but what are your thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, they're playing terrific right now. And they're playing better basketball than we are the last few weeks, for sure. It's going to be a heck of a game. We'll have to be ready. We'll have to be turned on, ready to guard them, ready to attack when we can. You know, they're the only team we haven't beaten this year, so we'll be fired up, ready to try to get some vengeance.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Matty.
Not much left after Matty, but Jalen, I'll just ask you a quick question. Have these last two games been a little bit challenging to get up for, given you're playing two teams with not a lot to play for, and how much are you looking forward to Thursday night's game, given what's at stake against the Hawks?
I think as a team, we've kind of played like that. We shouldn't, and we got to do a better job of that. You know, just kind of overlooking at that big game Thursday. But, you know, at least we pulled them out defensively, and now we know going in, this is kind of what we've been waiting for. So we're excited. Play a great team right now. Match up well with us. Like Coach said, we ain't beat them this year. So it's a lot to look forward to about Thursday.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Anyone's... Okay.
Yeah, Dan, feels like we have a similar conversation almost after every game. You fought hard, you did a lot of things right, and holding that team to 76 points is a really good effort, but you just couldn't quite get over the line.
Yeah, one of our better, I think it goes without saying, better games defensively. Fought. Yanni had a great game rebounding, a lot of great rebounds in traffic. Also played the right way offensively. I wouldn't say 100% of the time, but many minutes of the game. Created a lot of good looks. The way that the Kings defend, we were able to create space, create shots. Today didn't make shots. Can't really control that. Maybe we could have created more cuts for Yanni, like we had in a few moments, and settle less for threes. But the way they defend, you need to make some shots, and we just didn't make them today.
I think that's the lowest score that they had in their last 9 games. What did you do well defensively to at least give yourselves a chance to win and keep their scoring down?
Yeah, we just switched everything today, so it makes things simpler in a lot of ways. Now there are a million nuances to switch in defense, little things that happen from mismatches to flipped screens and spaces that created that can give great players like Jalen Adams shots, and obviously mismatches on the rebounds, etc. And we handled those well. We handled all these things very well. Obviously, here and there, they scored, but in the big picture, there was a good way to defend them. I gave up a few cheap things throughout the game, but second half, I think we controlled that too. Stopped them. They didn't get a lot of fast break points. This is probably the fastest team, I think, in this league, the way they play, and we didn't turn the ball over. So really created good shots, didn't really make them, didn't turn the ball over, so we were able to get in good position to defend.
You talked about Yanni's game, and he was great tonight, but really he's been really good for the whole season. How happy are you with the way he's played this whole year, and how excited are you about being able to build around him moving forward?
Yeah, we can't say happy because we've been through a tough season, but a lot of players did develop and did do a lot of things and a lot of good things. And to be honest, we're standing here. We got 2 more games to play. This is the 3rd game till the end. in a situation like ours, not every team comes focused, executes game plan, plays with a decent level of effort and some decent level of discipline. So Yanni has been doing that throughout the season, and today really put pressure on the rim with good cuts in pick and rolls. Again, the Kings really shrink, pack the paint, drop on everything, and it creates a lot of shots that you don't want to just live on those. And when Yanni was able to put the pressure on the rim, and Will had some good passes, that was great. Again, he showed his ability to defend on the perimeter and rebound in traffic. 22 and 14, great game for him.
And Hugo, can I just get your thoughts on the game tonight?
It's been a tough game, but I think we played pretty well against a great team. So yeah, we gotta keep pushing till the end, continue like that, and keep building on our defense, I think. And yeah, just stay like that. Our intensity has been great, and yeah, hope we're gonna get the 2 last games.
It's been a long season. You've got 2 games to go now. Personally, what do you hope to get out of these last 2?
Obviously a win. We need this win to end well the season, and yeah, just focus on the win to finish well, and that's it.
How close have you become with your teammates? It's been, you've been on the road now for 5 months together. Have you really bonded as a group, and have you made some lifelong friends in this team?
Yeah, for sure. It's been a tough situation, but we are always together, same hotel, so yeah, every day we're together. So I think we created a great group of guys, and I'm very happy with that.
Dan, Randall only played 2 minutes tonight. Was he all right physically, or was it just that just the rotation didn't allow for him to come in? You just had the guys that were getting the job done?
Yeah, he's healthy. We're loaded in those positions. Somebody does need to pay a price. Came into this game thinking I'm going to let Rasmus play a little bit more. Usman been amazing. The last few games was in foul trouble, so he's been earning his minutes. Somebody needs, and it's I don't want to even say needs to earn it or whatever. Jason is a very good player, but it's a tough decision to make. But we kind of start the game, letting everybody play, and then deciding who we're going to go with. And today it was the others.
And just lastly from me, just in the chair earlier, Chase Buford paid credit to you guys, and he said that he wouldn't mind seeing the New Zealand Breakers play more home games next season because of what's happened in the last 2 years. He's not the first opposition coach or person to have said that. Do you have a view on that? Obviously, it's not your decision to make, but would you like to see the Breakers, given what you've done and the sacrifice you've made the last 2 years, to have a bit of a drop out next season?
First of all, he's great. He's for me, it's a great honor. It's a great pleasure, to meet people like Chase and coach against them. And he's been doing an amazing job, and stuff like that just show what kind of a guy he is. I don't know what the solution is. Now in the big picture, let's not take it into feeling sorry for us or definitely not complaining. But I'm here for 3 years, and year 1 was just the beginning of COVID. We felt we had a huge momentum. We had a lot of things going in the right direction, a lot of people believing and had a good chemistry and good core, and we had good direction. And nobody planned those 2 years, and obviously there's no one person, organization, or anything that you can blame, and it won't really help you. But no team in the world, spent 2 years in a hotel, relocating, no home. When we don't make shots like today, We're going 24%, good shooters. I go and look at the stat sheet and I say again, one of those days, good shooters don't make shots. We never play at home. So anybody who likes this league and likes the Breakers will sit down at the end of the season and think how we build something from it. Last year it was let's survive this and go to the next year. Everything will be okay. Vaccine will be out. We'll be able to travel. Again, nobody planned. I'm sure that if somebody knows that you're going to spend 2 years like that, then it's going to make it tough for everybody. I think that probably this is now a point that everybody can be optimistic that next year the Breakers can play a normal season, but who knows what we got, what a home game looks like. And there's a lot of thinking to do for everybody who's involved. I think the Breakers is, again, even not as the Breakers coach. The Breakers is, a huge part of this league, championship caliber organization, represents an amazing country that is big part of this league. As somebody from the outside, me from the outside, this league without the Breakers, without New Zealand, it's a totally different thing. And right now, I'm sure we're going to need some help. We're going to need some help from everybody to start, to start the process again. Again, we're starting from the baseline. We're starting from the beginning. We need to kind of collect everything. This process can be fast. If everybody will do what they can, it will be fast. It's a good place with a lot of history and a lot of good people, and it shouldn't take long.
Thank you.
Thank you.
22.